The Vikings were skilled seafarers, known for their unparalleled expertise in navigating the vast and often treacherous waters of the North Atlantic. Their reputation as formidable sailors was built on centuries of experience and innovation. They built strong and fast ships, known as longships, which were marvels of engineering for their time. These vessels were designed to be both sturdy and swift, capable of withstanding the harsh conditions of the open sea, while also being nimble enough to navigate rivers and coastal waters. These ships allowed them to travel far and wide, reaching distant shores that were previously thought to be inaccessible. The Vikings ventured as far as North America centuries before Columbus, and established settlements in Greenland and Iceland. The Vikings were also excellent navigators, using a combination of traditional knowledge and innovative tools to chart their courses. They relied on the stars, the sun, and even the behavior of seabirds to guide them across the open ocean. They used the stars and the sun to find their way, employing tools like the sun compass and the sunstone to determine their position and direction. These methods allowed them to navigate with remarkable accuracy, even in the absence of modern instruments. This allowed them to explore new lands and conquer new territories, expanding their influence and establishing trade routes that connected distant parts of the world. Their voyages were not just about conquest, but also about discovery and cultural exchange. The Viking ships were a key factor in their success, providing them with the mobility and flexibility needed to launch surprise attacks and quickly retreat when necessary. Their ability to navigate both open seas and shallow rivers gave them a strategic advantage in warfare. Their ships allowed them to travel quickly and easily across the sea, enabling them to cover great distances in a short amount of time. This speed and efficiency were crucial for their raiding and trading activities, allowing them to strike swiftly and move on before their enemies could mount a defense. This gave them a significant advantage in warfare and trade, as they could transport warriors, goods, and supplies with ease. The Vikings were not just raiders, but also traders, establishing commercial networks that spanned Europe and beyond. The Vikings were able to raid and trade with many different cultures, bringing back not only wealth, but also knowledge and new technologies. Their interactions with other civilizations helped to shape the cultural and economic landscape of the medieval world. The Vikings' shipbuilding skills were passed down through generations, with each new generation building on the knowledge and techniques of their ancestors. This tradition of craftsmanship ensured that their ships remained at the cutting edge of maritime technology. They were constantly improving their designs, experimenting with new materials and construction methods to create faster, stronger, and more efficient vessels. This spirit of innovation was a key factor in their enduring success as seafarers. This led to the development of some of the most advanced ships of their time, vessels that were not only functional, but also works of art. The intricate designs and craftsmanship of Viking ships continue to inspire admiration and respect to this day. Their legacy as master shipbuilders and seafarers continues to inspire awe and wonder today. Modern replicas of Viking ships sail the seas, a testament to the enduring influence of these remarkable vessels and the people who built and sailed them. The Vikings built different types of ships. These ships were not just vessels. They were masterpieces of engineering and craftsmanship. Each type of ship had a specific purpose, from trading and exploration to warfare and raiding. The Viking shipyard was a bustling hub of activity, where skilled shipbuilders crafted these remarkable vessels with precision and care. The most famous Viking ship was the Drakkar. Known for its impressive size and striking design, the Drakkar was a symbol of Viking prowess on the seas. It was a marvel of naval architecture, designed to instill fear and awe in those who saw it. The Drakkar was a longship used for war. It was the preferred vessel for Viking raiders and warriors, who relied on its speed and agility to launch surprise attacks on their enemies. The sight of a Drakkar approaching on the horizon was enough to send shivers down the spines of those who knew what it meant. It was designed for speed and maneuverability. The sleek, elongated hull allowed it to cut through the water with ease, while the shallow draft enabled it to navigate both open seas and narrow rivers. This versatility made the Drakkar an incredibly effective tool for the Vikings. The Drakkar could travel up rivers and land directly on beaches. This capability allowed Viking raiders to penetrate deep into enemy territory, striking where they were least expected. The ability to land on beaches also facilitated quick and efficient loading and unloading of cargo and warriors. The Drakkar was powered by oars and a single sail. The combination of wind and human power gave it remarkable speed and endurance. The crew of rowers, often numbering in the dozens, worked in unison to propel the ship forward, while the sail provided additional thrust when the wind was favorable. It had a shallow draft. This design feature was crucial for navigating the often treacherous and shallow waters of rivers and coastal areas. The shallow draft also allowed the Drakkar to be beached easily, making it an ideal vessel for quick raids and retreats. This allowed it to navigate in shallow waters. The ability to sail in such conditions gave the Vikings a strategic advantage, enabling them to explore and raid areas that were inaccessible to other ships of the time. The Drakkar was also equipped with a large steering oar. This oar, often located on the starboard side, provided the helmsman with precise control over the ship's direction. The steering oar was a critical component in the Drakkar's exceptional maneuverability. This gave it excellent maneuverability. The combination of the steering oar and the ship's design allowed the Drakkar to make sharp turns and navigate through challenging waters with ease. This agility was essential for both evading enemies and launching surprise attacks. The Drakkar was a fearsome sight. Its imposing presence on the water, often shrouded in mist or fog, struck terror into the hearts of those who saw it. The sight of a Drakkar approaching meant that a Viking raid was imminent, and few could stand against its might. It was often decorated with a dragon's head on the bow. This fearsome decoration was not just for show. It was intended to intimidate and demoralize enemies. The dragon head, with its menacing appearance, symbolized the ferocity and strength of the Viking warriors who sailed the Drakkar. This was intended to scare enemies. The psychological impact of the dragon head, combined with the reputation of the Vikings as fierce and relentless warriors, made the Drakkar a truly terrifying sight on the battlefield. The Drakkar was a symbol of the Vikings' power and skill. It represented their mastery of shipbuilding, their prowess in battle, and their ability to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. The legacy of the Drakkar lives on as a testament to the ingenuity and strength of the Viking people.
The Vikings also built ships for trade. These ships were called Knarrs. Knarrs were wider and deeper than Drakkars. They were designed to carry cargo. Knarrs were also slower than Drakkars. Knarrs were very seaworthy. They could withstand rough seas. This allowed the Vikings to trade with distant lands. They sailed to places like Iceland, Greenland, and even North America. Knarrs were important for the Viking economy. They allowed the Vikings to transport goods and resources. This helped them to establish settlements and colonies throughout the North Atlantic.
Viking ships were built using a technique called clinker building. Clinker building involves overlapping planks of wood. The planks were held together by iron rivets. The ships were also waterproofed with tar. Oak was the preferred wood for shipbuilding. Oak is a strong and durable wood. It was also readily available in Scandinavia. Viking shipbuilders were highly skilled craftsmen. They took pride in their work. The ships were built with great care and precision. This ensured that they were both strong and seaworthy. The Vikings were skilled navigators, known for their remarkable ability to traverse vast and treacherous waters. They used the sun, stars, and wind to find their way, relying on natural elements to guide them through the open seas. They also used a device called a sunstone, a unique tool that played a crucial role in their navigation.
A sunstone is a type of crystal, often made from calcite or cordierite, which can polarize light. It can be used to locate the sun, even on cloudy days, by detecting the direction of the sunlight through the clouds.
The Vikings also relied on coastal navigation, using the contours of the land to help them stay oriented. They sailed from landmark to landmark, recognizing specific features of the coastline to ensure they were on the right path. This helped them to stay on course, providing a visual reference that was crucial for their long journeys.
The Vikings' navigational skills allowed them to make long voyages, venturing far beyond their homeland. They sailed across the North Atlantic Ocean to North America, reaching new lands and establishing settlements. They also sailed east to the Caspian Sea, exploring and trading with distant cultures, showcasing their incredible seafaring capabilities. Despite the challenges of unpredictable weather and rough seas, the Vikings' innovative techniques and tools ensured their success. Their ability to adapt and innovate made them one of the most formidable seafaring civilizations in history. The legacy of their navigational prowess continues to inspire and fascinate us to this day.
The Vikings were explorers. They sailed to many different parts of the world. They traveled east to the Byzantine Empire and the Middle East. They traded goods and served as mercenaries.
The Vikings also sailed west to Iceland and Greenland. They established settlements in these lands. They even reached North America. They called it Vinland.
The Vikings' voyages of exploration expanded the geographical knowledge of their time. They opened up new trade routes and connected different cultures.
The Vikings are often remembered for their raids. They raided coastal settlements for treasure and slaves. However, the Vikings were also traders.
They traded goods such as furs, timber, and slaves. They traveled to trading centers in Europe and the Middle East.
The Vikings' raids and trading activities had a significant impact on the economy and culture of medieval Europe.
Section 8. Viking ships and warfare.
Viking ships were formidable weapons. They were fast and maneuverable. This allowed the Vikings to launch surprise attacks. The Vikings also used their ships to transport warriors and horses. This gave them an advantage in battle. The Vikings' naval power was a key factor in their military successes. They were able to conquer new territories and establish themselves as a force to be reckoned with.
Section 9. The legacy of the Vikings. The Vikings were skilled shipbuilders, seafarers, and explorers. Their ships were technological marvels of their time. They allowed the Vikings to explore new lands, raid and trade, and conquer new territories. The Vikings' legacy can still be seen today in the design of modern ships. Their voyages of exploration and colonization helped to shape the world we live in today. Section 10. The end of an era. The Viking Age eventually came to an end. There were many reasons for this. One reason was climate change. The medieval warm period, which had made it easier for the Vikings to sail and settle in new lands, came to an end. This made it more difficult for them to survive in places like Greenland. Another reason was the rise of stronger kingdoms in Europe. These kingdoms were able to resist Viking raids and conquests. Section 11. Conclusion: Masters of the Sea. The Vikings were masters of the sea. Their ships were a testament to their skill, ingenuity, and courage. They allowed the Vikings to explore new lands, conquer new territories, and leave a lasting mark on history. The Viking ships may be gone, but their legacy lives on. They continue to inspire awe and wonder in people around the world.